Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a TV tier list. In this edition, we're taking a look at our Martian friends, the Ice Warriors, taking a look at their TV stories and tier listing them. Once again, I am joined with Luke.
Hello, everyone.
Sounded a bit like a mix of a sea devil.
Yeah, it
Meets
started
an
a bit
Ice
sea doubly.
Warrior.
Then I was like, oh, wait, no, I've got a s at the end there. Shift it a bit.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, should be a nice little fun short tier list, really.
Yeah, it's weird. There's only 6 Ice Warrior stories. It's funny that once you get past the Daleks and the Cybermen, the numbers drop significantly.
Yeah, just dwindle. But again, I feel like the Ice Warriors are one of those heavy hitters, really.
Yeah.
Because I think once you get past the main two, it's like, is it Weeping Angels, Sontarans, Ice Warriors? What goes in that third spot, really?
I mean, so far we've obviously covered the big two themselves, and we have also done Sontarans and then Silurians and Sea Devils following that. So you can check out those old streams after this if you're interested to see how we ranked all of those different stories. If we had any controversial takes there,
Spoilers, yes.
Yeah, we'll see how we do tonight. But yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like you think Autons are quite iconic, but they've only really got 3 TV stories.
That'll be a very short tier list.
Yeah, I mean Zygons. They were like famous in the classic series as the recurring villain that never recurred.
Well, you could say that about the Ice Warriors, that they had chances to return, but they just fell through as well.
Yeah, that's true. Like with both Sixth and Seventh Doctor. Really. I mean, if the show hadn't, it was both times the show got cancelled. Actually, wasn't it? That they had Ice Warrior stories in the works that got scrapped or just went down with the show itself.
Yeah, it is bizarre. I mean, plenty of one-hit wonders. Have stood the test of time, like you say. The Zygons for many years were one-hit wonders. Sutek, I mean, it all depends if you can ask Big Finish as sort of one-hit wonders, really, because I'm sure Big Finish have not made them one-hit wonders, really.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, is it like monoids now that the only ones left that are a one-hit?
No,
media. Oh,
they're in a Bernice.
Oh, that must be quite an early Bernie.
Yeah, I think that's Series 6 of Bernice, actually.
Well, there you go. Not even the monoids are sacred anymore.
Yeah, because I feel like Bernice sort of gets the I want to say Z-list monsters in a way. Because she's got Vidravins, she's got monoids. Don't think she's had the quark. She's had K1, which is quite interesting. But I don't think K1's a Z-list because I really like K1.
He's in a regeneration story, so that kind of bucks him up a few.
Points. He's like a B tier.
Hello, Caleb Smith there in the chat, and hello, Glenn Skywalker. If you stuck around there, I saw you asked, "When is this starting?" Earlier, we lost track of time. We were having a bit of a chinwag, weren't we?
Oh yeah, it's usual for us.
Yeah. Hello to anyone else who's out there lurking.
Yeah, hello lurkers. Thanks for joining us on this fine Sunday. The last one for a little bit because you're on your holidays.
Yeah, we have got something pre-recorded there, haven't we?
Yes. Hopefully this Friday coming up, it'll be a big finish for all occasions where we pick a story what we think suits a rainy day or a beach day. So that's one of the things we've been doing.
Yeah, and then hopefully we'll be back again in full force. I'll be revitalized from my holiday on the Friday the 18th, hopefully. But we'll have to. Sometimes plans change because we did say that this would be a Friday, but then we had to shift it back to a Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, while I wait for a few people to join, how have you been occupying yourself since we last streamed? I mean, I've spoken to you quite a bit this week actually because we've been working on a few little things. So
yeah,
it's been good.
I've been diving back into the Second Doctor Companion Chronicles Volume 3. I finished the 3rd story of that today, the Prince of Denmark. It is a lot of fun. It is.
Is that the monk one?
Yeah, it is very meta.
All right.
There are quite a few moments in there where you think, are they really doing this? And it's slightly more companion chronically in the sense,
Okay.
in narration wise. Like you do get Wendy Padbury doing Patrick Troughton and Fraser Hines a little bit, but not too much. It very much is more like a two-hander between Rufus Hound and Wendy Padbury, and you get like them
Okay.
voicing other random roles as well, like having fun with those. I mean, Rufus Hounds gets to play Shakespeare at one point, which
Okay.
he does an all right job with. He also gets to play himself, which is very, like this guy is meta.
All right. Okay.
And you get a fun line where the monk calls Zoe, Jamie, and the Doctor SJWs in their virtue signaling time machine. So
Right. Okay. It's pulling all the punches then.
yeah, it doesn't go halfway. It goes the full Monty.
Who wrote that one?
Paul Marks. It is very Paul Marks.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both listened to the Death of the Daleks, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you finished that one.
No. Started part 2 and I was like, I can't get with it.
Yeah, it did improve towards the end, but yeah, it certainly wasn't the most engaging start for us. So that's why it's taken me this long to get back around to it. But yeah, it's picked up a lot the next, and hopefully the last story will stick the landing. But yeah, the middle two are definitely worth checking out. I mean, the second one is very much a Jamie one, diving into his history. And yeah, it's quite it's very much a chamber piece where it's just Jamie in a room with another character talking about his past for the most part.
Is it a bit like The Edge? Is it The Edge or The Integral?
The Edge is the Jamie one.
Oh, okay.
The Integral's the one with Zoe. Not really. I think it's quite different from that one. From that one, yeah, that's another very good character piece for Jamie though. Yeah. This one's does it in a different way. And so again, it's weird. It's like the framing device for it is very much the main story. Like the flashes back into his past aren't like the story being told. They're very much just like little flashes here and there.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll be interested to see how the last one handles it, because it's a very odd Companion Chronicles box set, isn't it? Because it's not what you expect from Companion Chronicles, in that they are usually very narrated two-handers, whereas these sometimes, I mean, Death of the Daleks had a couple of different actors in it, didn't it?
Yeah, it feels like it's teetering a more early adventure in a way, that one.
Not even that, because it didn't have any narration, did it?
Yeah, true, yeah.
Teetering on Second Doctor adventure, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Michael in there.
Yeah, it's a weird set in a way, because it feels like a remnant of a bygone era, but also looking at what Big Finish is doing now. From the looks of it.
Yeah. I mean, it does feel weird having a Companion Chronicles set without Ben and Polly, because we sort of had a Second Doctor renaissance really with them two in the early adventures, and then Companion Chronicles Volume 1 and 2.
Yeah. And even with the first Doctor as well, didn't they? They got a couple.
Yeah, they had a couple of.
Yeah, because the Time War made us have more First and Ben and Polly stories, which is
a
bizarre thing to think about, really. But
although we already had some before that anyway, which now I guess slot into that gap.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's funny how it works out. Caleb Smith says, my box set for the Outlaws came in the mail yesterday, and my Fourth Doctor Adventures boxes are on the way. Nice. I think
very good sets, really.
Yeah. I got my Second Doctor the other day.
I did too.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
I mean, mine arrived a bit smashed.
Oh no.
There was like a massive chunk from the bottom of the case just come. I mean, it was a bit hard to get out. It was. That's the thing with like the recent Big Finish sets, like they're really jammed in. But I like that. I'm still not a fan of the cover. I still think that Beyond War Games, there's so much going on, like Ice Warriors, Daleks,
Yeah.
But I really like the sort of yellowy top of the set.
Yeah, that works. I mean, it's the same sort of thing they had with the first Doctor, isn't it?
Yeah, with the off-white.
Yeah, like where you look at where that's all off-white on yours, Caleb, that's going to be yellow, like the yellowish goldy colour from the second Doctor titles that are on the front of Beyond War Games cover, all over that one. But yeah, it works as a nice little accent, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just sort of blocks it up, really.
Yeah.
Sort of breaks it up, yeah. Instead of like a black top, what they probably normally are, isn't it? Or like the colour of the actual box set.
Yeah. It's also first box set I've got where it's got the new BBC logo on.
I'll be honest, I've not really paid attention to that.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, cool.
I suppose you were more worried about the dent in it.
Yeah, because it was like a massive like chunk. I was like, how has this happened?
It's weird sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, because like hopefully Classic Doctors doesn't arrive smash, because that was dispatched, I think, Thursday.
I've seen a couple of people out on Twitter. I think it might just be the writers or like people who worked on it who've got theirs that I've seen so far.
Yeah, they're getting quick with some of the releases, because like there was a time where it'd take about a month to get. I don't know if like Return to Earth or Back to Earth has arrived on vinyl for people yet. I don't know, but I've not seen any photos out of vinyl yet, so I take it it's not even around
not
yet.
in the wild yet. No. Yeah, I mean the 9 that took a while, didn't it? That was about a month wait.
Yeah, I think because it's like individual.
Yeah, maybe that affects it.
Whereas I guess it's just pack it in a jewel case and then ram it in a little slip case and then post it out.
Yeah. Give it a dent while it's on its way.
Honestly, you're scared of tearing the little slip cover with these, because they're just, I don't know if it's like the static when they just sort of are so compressed. It's just
yeah.
Because I think you had it with, was it Lost Resort or something like that?
Yeah, my Lost Resort was pretty well jammed in there, I think.
And you can just hear like the disc rattling. You're like, I've got to rattle it to get it out.
Yeah, but you don't want to rattle too hard and have it fly out, and then you do even more damage. But I think Silver and Ice, that came like instantly, pretty much.
Yeah, it was like practically like next day. I was like, whoa, okay.
I think it came out like on the Wednesday, and we got it Friday, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it's a quick turnaround. Even I think Bambera was the same actually.
Yeah. So they are recovering with it. Just some things still suffer a bit. I mean, Second Doctor, that came out start of the month, arrived end of the month. So
yeah, it does seem. Yeah, I think that's probably like the longest wait for a while, really.
Yeah, I mean, one thing with that as well is that it's got like a little bit of the yellowy gold on the top of the spine as well. It's like where it's not quite come together properly, and I've seen it's not just mine that's got it. Yeah, so that's a bit unfortunate. It's nothing too bad or too distracting, but yeah, it's just a little bit poking out on the top there.
Oh, I guess
you know, like how your the J cards sometimes don't line up with the collection box sets. It's sort of a similar thing to that. It's not something you notice unless you're really looking at it, and then it just bugs you.
Yeah, once you see it, you can't see it, type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caleb Smith says, I live in the US, so it takes up to 3 weeks to ship here. You have my condolences there, because, I mean, we complain about the prices, but you have to pay a lot more for yours.
I mean, that's dedication to like the physical media course, so power to you. Power to you.
Speaking of dedication to the physical media course, Caleb Smith also says, I think I'll make my own personal box sets for the audio novels since they don't come on CD.
I mean,
good luck with pressing some of them onto CD, because do you want to say about not Emissary of the Daleks? What's Emancipation of the Daleks?
Emancipation of the Daleks. Yeah, like each episode's like 2 hours long. So we're talking like that'll be like 6 discs or something like that. I mean, Scourge will probably be 8 discs if it was physical. But it was one of those things I sort of complained at because I'm very much a physical CD fan. But then it's when you start listening to him, like I can see why it's not a physical. And I think the audio novels are sort of I don't want to say the budget one, but there's less work going into them compared to like a full cast one.
And it's like it's going to be squeezing too much onto loads of discs, isn't it?
Yeah, because I did think if they did like a limited run of like 500, because it would be lovely to get like the Scourge of Cybermen artwork in like a little slipcase.
Yeah,
like it would look really good.
Yeah, but would they do it in like that weird, like the Cyberman complete collection when they did that? What was that called?
Is it like a digipack?
No, I think digipack is like Torchwood Archive.
Oh, okay.
That's like where it's the cardboard folder, similar to the vinyls, but a bit less quality.
Yeah.
Although I think it's actually got plastic in there, isn't it? It like folds out and then you've got plastic trays holding the discs. But
yeah, bit like cigarette. Yeah, cigarette. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Where's Cyberman?
I mean, that's going out of print, so
yeah, that's
considering that was
Prevex.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, because they did that with Dorian Gray, didn't they? Like those massive CDs stacked on. Yeah,
I think it was only like a couple of Dorian Gray, wasn't it? Because if you have a Dorian Gray collection, it looks a bit all over the place, similar to The Prisoner.
Yeah, I mean, saying that, you just got to look at some of the Doctor Who releases. So I saw somebody tweet like all the Doctor relaunch box sets. I was like, yeah, the logo placement's all over the place. But that's a big finish for you.
It's weird seeing the it seems like the relaunch lines up with the logo on Ravagers and Respond to All Calls. I'm not sure if you've seen that in person, if that's the case or not, but they look pretty similar logo sizes.
Yeah, those go well together, those two.
Yeah, and then suddenly with Lost Warriors, they shrunk the logo size down on the Ninth Doctor Adventures
and made it a Cyberman instead of Eccleston.
Yeah. Right. Well, I suppose we'll be finding out soon what be on the spine for Into the Stars.
But yeah, that's going to be next week. It's going to be a Sontaran. I'll happily put money on that. Yeah.
Glenn Skywalker asks, what do you think is the next the collection box sets is going to be? Personally, I think season 2, 9, and season 20 is next, says Glenn Skywalker. I think you're on the money with 2.
Yeah, I think 2's definitely got to be the next one. I think 20's going back into production, isn't it?
Yeah, so I could see that being late next year, and then 1, maybe 2 if we're lucky, squeezed in between.
Yeah, because I think people are hoping after Abominable Snowmen we'll get another collection set.
Yeah, I think season 2 would work for like November this year. Like Hartnell very much suits going into the winter, doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I'd like that then, and then presumably something February, March, something in the summer, then something around the time of the anniversary, and season 20 would definitely suit that.
I mean,
with it.
I would say I'd swap season 9 and I would put season 16.
Oh.
Because they like to do a Tom each year.
That's true.
And I feel like that's the next contender for Tom.
I wonder if it could be 15 next, to be honest.
But then do you want to wrap up all the Louise Jameson stuff?
Yeah. Well, I suppose you're also wrapping up all the Romana stuff.
Yeah, I think season 16 seems like there's not much more you can do to it in the grand scheme of like the collection, unless they find like some massive way of doing it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, certainly 13, I think, is going to be saved till last. So it will be either 15 or 16 next. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that was saved till the very last.
Yeah, season 3 comes out before season 13.
Well, the very last that they'll do in general.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah.
It's like up in the air whether they'll do something like season 3.
Just have to wait and see, really.
They'll find a way. But yeah, I don't know. I think season 9's a fair bet, or a Pertwee season at least, because I mean, Tom's had one more recently than him.
I mean, I'd quite like season 11 over season 9. Just because I want to know what they're going to do updated effect-wise.
Yeah. I think also that'll drag out the Joe stuff a little bit more.
Yeah. Because that'll be like, that'll be the last Joe, wouldn't it, season 9?
Yeah. But there's some good guesses there, Glenn Skywalker. I could definitely see that being the case.
I'll be happy with that run. I mean, I just feel like we're being a bit starved with the collection sets at the minute.
Yeah, we did. I suppose maybe the production issues are still knocking them back a bit. So I want to be sure before they put the next announcement out.
Yeah, I just want to know. I just want to know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, what have you been up to recently, by the way? Because you asked me and I rudely never asked you that. Well, we got distracted as usual.
It's fine. I mean, I've had quite a big Doctor Who week, really. Obviously, recording those things with you.
Yeah, quite a few things up on your channel as well.
Yeah,
without me.
Yeah, without you. Yeah, so been doing that. Went to Liverpool. Went and saw the Worlds of Wonder, that latest Doctor Who exhibition, which done a video on. You can check that out if you want.
Did you do a Dan? Start being like the museum curator, showing people around.
At one point, it was close to it. Because the woman come round going, "This is John Pertwee's TARDIS." I was like, "No, it's not. It's Arnold's." But like in one season, it was. But this, no. This is the 60s console. So
did you have to? Did she take to one side and you had to tell her, "What's the point in being alive if you can't make people happy?"
I mean, there were some people there, like, there was one person wandering around just like, he doesn't want to be there. He's fed up with telling kids going, don't touch that. Like, he's had enough.
He needed to be made happy.
He needed some soup in his life. You know, he was missing that good stuff, really. But it was good. I mean, if it comes to you or you're happy to travel to Liverpool, check it out.
A bit of a distance for me, I'm afraid, but anyone on here who is in that region, give it a go.
I mean, I think it's going to Edinburgh next, so that's even more of a trip.
Yeah, it's running away from me.
Yeah, so make a CSC boy. It's great. So I mean, it was quite nice going back to Ice Warriors to see like the Empress from Empress of Mars, because I never saw that at the experience, because I went before that aired on screen, so it was really cool to see that costume. It was quite nice to see that it was still quite rubbery like the original Ice Warriors.
Cool.
You know,
that's on topic.
Yeah, very on topic. So yeah, it's one of my favorite things to see.
Oh, Brian Smith asks, if you could have taken any prop home from the exhibition, what would you have taken home?
Oh, I think the 60s console room would be pretty nice.
The whole thing.
Just the whole thing. Don't know how I'd have brought that back on the train, but I'd find a way.
I think it's then storing it at your house. That's the next issue. That'd be a good streaming room.
Oh yeah, that would be a nice little background, wouldn't it?
Everyone would be like, "Oh, nice, cool green screen background there, Ben." You're like, "Nope, it's real.
No, it's real. It's a real thing." So I feel like I've been lucky and I've ticked off one of my Doctor Who props I've wanted, which is Matt's Sonic, which I'm very happy to have that. But either that or like the Pertwee screwdriver I'd like to have.
Which had a couple, didn't he, on screen?
Yeah, he had some weird ones. Like in the Three Doctors, you've got that weird emitter. Because I assume, this is just me putting two and two together, he lost the emitter when filming the Sea Devils, and they were just like, "Oh, I'll just stick that on for Three Doctors." Because there's a few stories where he doesn't have. It's like in Robot, he doesn't have the emitter. He puts the emitter on later, doesn't he, Tom?
Yeah, he sort of like says it doubles as a sonic lance. It's like,
Yeah.
that's been on there before when it was just a screwdriver.
So it's strange. And then season 10, you kind of get the Sonic you will recognize. You get rid of the stripes. Because I think Frontier and Space is when you see the sort of Tom Baker Sonic.
Yeah, but it has the stripes on in Carnival because that was done with season 9, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it ever in season 7?
I like to think it is in Inferno.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't.
I think that's just the door lock.
It's a door lock, but I like to think that it's the Sonic. That's my own little headcanon.
What was the first? So if we assume that one isn't it, what would be the first appearance? Because I don't think it's in Terra.
No, I don't think.
Maybe it doesn't come back until.
I don't know.
Maybe Sea Devils.
I feel like he used it before Sea Devils. This is like a real sort of brain tease now. This is.
This is testing your Pertwee trivia.
Was it in part? No, it's not in Silurians.
I don't think it was ever in Colony.
No. Is it in Claws? I don't know. That's a one to figure out later.
Yeah. I don't think it's in Day because he's too busy using guns in that.
Yeah.
Maybe Curse of Peladon?
Maybe Curse.
I
don't know.
But I'm not sure if there's anything for him to use it on because that's where he.
Well, he has that little hypno thing, doesn't he, for Agador?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's just a hypno thing. Maybe it is Sea Devils, but just.
No, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to figure that out later.
Yeah, you'll have to do a whole Pertwee era rewatch to spot the Sonic. You'd be like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme when you finally spot the Sonic. I was pointing at the screen.
There it is.
There we go. But, I mean, if anyone
the
in
Daemons,
the
actually
chat has any idea. Oh, is it in the Daemons?
I feel like it probably is in the Daemons.
I don't know, because that's not medieval one, but more rural. I don't think there's much for him to use it on.
I just think when he's mending Bessie, I don't
know. Maybe. But because he had the remote control for that. And that was very much a remote control. It's not like the screwdriver doubling as a remote control.
Yeah.
We really have gone down a rabbit
hole. Yeah. We'll have to figure this out later.
Yeah. Mystery for the ages.
Yeah.
That's right. Should we switch to a more somber note now?
Yeah, this has been a bit of a sad week for us Doctor Who fans. We've lost two big legends, really.
Two titans of not just Doctor Who, but the acting industry in general.
For sure. Good old Bernard Cribbins and David Warner.
I know you met David Warner. Did you ever meet Bernard Cribbins?
I did, yeah.
Well, what was David Warner like to meet first?
I mean, I could go on a little bit of a tangent about David Warner. Because I went to like a convention back in 2015, like it was called like Day of the Doctors 2, where Cerberus of Fibster, TJ Productions, I think Scaramondas was there, and Adam the Mahovian and Geek's Handbag was there. So it was like a first like proper like meetup of us all there, and it was all for Tom, and like David Warner was there because he's a doctor. It had like all the Unbound doctors like David Collins, David Banks was there as well, and I was still relatively new to Big Finish, so I didn't meet David Warner because I saw him from a distance when Kai got his photo with him, and he seemed like a nice fella. But then I think the day after I listened to like the Cuthbert stuff, and then he just become like a voice you'd regularly hear in Big Finish. Like, oh, that's David Warner.
Yeah, it was a huge part of Big Finish, really, over the last 20 years almost now.
Yeah.
He first did it in 2003 with Sympathy for the Devil. And he's done so many different roles. He's always recognisable, but you're never disappointed to hear him at all. I think he always gives something different to each of the performances.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because you've got him playing like Isaac Newton in Circular Time. Then you got Luke Betterman, and then the narration in The Black Hole as well. Which we reviewed recently, so it felt kind of a bit of a double whammy, really, going well.
Yeah, I mean, he had quite a few recurring roles as well, like you say, Luke Betterman, and I think that's one that started out just as a one-off, but then because of how much they liked him in the role, they thought, "Oh, we'll give him a couple more goes at it alongside Jacob and Lightfoot." And then, obviously, most popular recurring role is his Doctor, and I think there's one more, isn't there? I'm pretty sure
he was in a few Blake Sevens, wasn't he? Oh, he was in.
I think he was Villa's father in Blake 7. And then Steel in Sapphire and Steel as well.
That was I mean, I'd like to check out the Sapphire and Steel stuff, but sadly, they're
difficult to track down.
Bit difficult to track down. But I properly met David Warner 2017, and it was really nice because I went and got like a proper photo of him as the Doctor. Because like, no way at the desk are they gonna have Unbound David Warner. And like everyone was queuing for like
it wasn't a Doctor Who convention, was it?
No, it was like a general like MCM Comic Con, and he was by Lisa, who I just met as well. Because I got her to sign like the Bernice artwork for like I think Volume 4 for like the first cover in that set. And everyone had like the Omen Star Trek, and when it got around to me, his face sort of lit up, going, "Look, he listens to us." So it was quite wholesome. He was just like really gentlemanly, going, "Oh, thanks. I'm glad you enjoy listening to him, and we enjoy doing them really." So it was cool just to see him sort of have that moment of joy, going, "Oh wow, somebody actually does listen and is young."
The more niche stuff.
Yeah, isn't it more niche instead of like signing like the Omen and all that sort of stuff? But it was a really real joy. Really, it had sort of like granddad energy. Yeah, it's good, man. I like him a lot.
He also had. I mentioned listening to what was it, the Prince of Denmark earlier, the Second Doctor Companion Chronicle. And I just remembered in that as well, there is a David Warner reference in there. Like he is name dropped as acting as Hamlet once, I think, or acting in a Hamlet play. Which I mean, did he do Hamlet for Big Finish? Oh no, it was King Lear.
King Lear.
Yeah,
I've got that. It's very good actually. Makes me sound quite pompous saying that, but yeah, it was very good. Yeah, because that came out just before I met him, and I spoke a little bit about that to like Lisa Bowerman.
She was in it as well, and I think Jameson was.
Yeah, I think they played the daughters of King Lear. I think, from memory.
Yeah, it was just. Yeah, it's funny listening to that today and hearing that pop up because this was written, recorded, came out back in April, so you wouldn't know then. But yeah, it just sort of hit a bit different hearing it after the fact.
It just sort of makes you sort of cherish those little things. Now, like when we get the next Bernice Unbound set with the Cybermen, you're gonna really savor that David Warner stuff now.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we know we've got David Warner and Christopher Eccleston. I don't know if it is Unbound Doctor. I assume it is. I hope it is.
Yeah, but we can't be too sure.
I can't be too sure, but
like we said, he does play a lot of different roles for Big Finish.
It'd be very bittersweet, that.
Yeah, and I mean, very prolific beyond Big Finish as well, of course. And to my shame, I've not really checked out much of that, knowing.
I've seen him in like Hornblower. as like I think he played like a mad captain, so that was interesting.
I mean, obviously, it's outside of Big Finish, but not quite outside of Doctor Who. We've got him in Cold War later, haven't we?
And Dreamland as well, actually. Yeah,
Oh, did he do Dreamland?
yeah, he played the leader alien in that.
Ah, I see. I suppose. Yeah, I suppose that was his chance to act opposite David Tennant as the Doctor after David Tennant got to act opposite him as the Doctor.
Yeah. So is that a multi-Doctor story now? I don't know.
It's like comes full circle, doesn't it?
Mm.
I suppose in the same way that Fires of Pompeii, perhaps it's.
Yeah, it's true.
But
yeah, it's a great loss, really.
Yeah, will certainly be missed. Our thoughts are with Lisa Bauman and family, of course. And I mean, Bernard Cribbins as well. I mean, do you want to talk about what it was like meeting him? Was it 2019?
Yeah, it was literally 3 years the day he passed.
Oh, really?
So it's quite spooky, really. I think 3 years ago that day I was meeting him. But yeah, I can't really say you couldn't really say much about Bernard. That he was a character in like the photo shoot, like full of energy. But in terms of like the signing, he couldn't quite hear what you were saying, so you couldn't really like talk to him as much, really. But from what bit I met him, he was nice, very nice. Full of life and energy, really.
Yeah, I suppose it's the nature of conventions sometimes, isn't it? It's a bit of a lottery in what experience you're going to get, just down to factors that are beyond anyone's control.
And I think like his age as well, he probably used all his energy in like the photo shoot, so it just come to like the signing, and he was moaning about like the noise as well. Because it's one of the like big crammed London ones, so it's bad to hear at the best of times. So bless him. But we love Bernard here,
Yeah, it's a tribute to him, the fact that out of all Doctor Who characters, I think he's probably the most universally loved.
Yes, there's nobody said a bad word about him, which is nice.
Yeah, you always have people coming out with hot takes, but I don't think anyone's hot take has ever been, Wilf wasn't great or anything like that. Wilf was always just so lovable right from the start. And it's always a joy to watch.
Just the end of time is just a pure joy. Just having David and Bernard, they're such a good pair.
Yeah, it's great that he did get to have that companion or one-off companion role in the end there. I think that's certainly something down to Bernard himself, what he brought to the role. But I don't think, well, I mean, the role of Wilf was created around Bernard, really, wasn't he? So, do you think if another actor had that, they might not have got the character to that point where they would be this one-off companion alongside the 10th Doctor? And also, he had a lot of input into, not quite creative input, but just little suggestions that Russell go, you know what, I'll have a go with that, like the paintball gun. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite moments. To be fair, Stolen Earth is full of so many good like Wilf moments, because I love about the webcam, and he's like, "Oh, I can't have that. She thinks I'm naughty." I just like that's so. Oh, it just makes me chuckle, really.
Yeah, he has such a great dynamic with each different character he's alongside. So, it'll be exciting to see the dynamic with him and Yasmin Finney in the upcoming special, which will sadly be his last performance.
I mean this in the nicest possible way. I hope that they're able to get everything they could with Bernard. That we're not missing Wilf content, because we all love him, like we said.
It's the right tribute for his final performance, really. Maybe a shame if they have to cut around that, I suppose. But yeah.
But it would just be good to see him on screen again as as Wilf, really.
Yeah, and it'll hit different as well now that he's gone, sadly. But yeah, it's been a hard-hitting week, I suppose. It's like, just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it suddenly did, didn't it?
Yeah, because you sort of feel like those two are untouchable. You just think they just go on and on and on. And I think Matthew Sweet said, I think one of his articles was like, losing Bernard Cribbins is like being told like chocolate digestives are being discontinued. It's like a main staple of.
It's a fact of life, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's a shame, really, but
yeah, so they did hit hard. Waking up to that news. Yeah, and once again, thoughts are with his family there. Yeah, so good night, sweet prince, to David Warner, and there's one more star in the sky now with Bernard Cribbins.
Oh, what a good scene that is, though, isn't it? I love that.
Wow.
And even Shooty paid tribute as well, which was rather. I think Shooty's going to be such a good ambassador for the show. I just think he gets it all already.
Yeah, he's already started off great with social media, hasn't he?
I mean, I'm a big fan of his lock screen for his phone.
Oh, what's that?
It's him and Pertwee.
Oh, really?
Like Yellow Jacket. So I'm like, all right, he's got taste. He'll go far.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what costume he gets to work with.
I'm sure it's going to be out there, and I'm sure he'll pull it off because it's Shooty Gatwa.
Yeah, he could probably look good in anything, to be fair. Brian Smith said, I did hear Bernard had completed his scene. Such a sad week. Yes, but should we go on to some bit more positive news now? Oh, I believe Ben has frozen there, sadly. So yeah, if anyone has any questions in the chat, please do send them in while we wait for Ben to return, I suppose. I mean, looking into the news for this week, unfortunately, we can't quite share it up on the screen, but we did have the details released and release date for The Abominable Snowmen on DVD, Blu-ray, and Steelbook. Ben's sadly gone now. He will be back very shortly, I'm sure. Probably just a bit of internet or technical issues there. But yeah, so we have Abominable Snowmen coming up. They revealed the cover art and some details on what's coming with it. Let me just load up the Doctor Who website quickly, doctorwho.tv. There we are, and I'll see if I can share that. Here we are. So that now should be up for everyone to see. We have here the Abominable Snowmen cover art and special features revealed. The cover art and special features of the animated version of The Missing Adventure releasing on DVD, Blu-ray and Steelbook on the 5th of September, which came as quite a surprise because last week we had the reveal of the BFI screening date as the 3rd of September. And I mean, usually we have to wait a little bit before we get the DVD or Blu-ray collection set. With the season 22, we had to wait about 3 months between BFI and that. But no, only 2 days now. So that is good news. That'll be with us in just over a month, which may sadly be the final animation, at least for a little while. So yeah, we did have a nice little trailer there. A little bit of a synopsis. That's the Steelbook version there, the TARDIS on one of the Tibetan mountains surrounded by some Yeti. So the contents are obviously black and white animated. No word on whether or not that'll be in 16:9 or 4:3. So hopefully 4:3, so then you can watch it seamlessly with the restored surviving original episode 2 there. I wonder how restored that'll be, because I don't think they quite get them up to Blu-ray quality usually. The only one where they have is The Web of Fear, because that was sort of like the main feature of that one coming to Blu-ray, since they only had the... Oh, no, you can't see it. Oh, sorry about that. Ali Servat. It might need Ben here to confirm that that's showing. So maybe that doesn't... Yeah, maybe that's not sharing to the viewers there, sadly. Let me check the stream feed itself. Oh no, I've checked on it. Yep, that's just me there. So I suppose I could stop sharing this screen now, because it's not actually sharing to anyone. That'll make my PC run a little bit faster now. But yeah, so I'll just have to read out what we've got here in terms of features. There's also the photo recons for episodes 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I know those get like a mixed reception from some people, I think, because of the who is it who done those? Loose Cannon, that's it. Because Loose Cannon made some wonderful reconstructions before, the DVD range got around to doing their own. They sort of like pale in comparison a little bit now. So yeah, they often get a bit of a mixed reception there. Here it, Ben's back.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we've just been diving into the Abominable Snowmen news.
All right.
Yeah, I tried screen sharing it, but it didn't end up.
Oh, okay.
Like, I thought I was all good on my end. I'm sharing it, and then chat said, "Nope, can't see it." So obviously, it needs you here for whatever reason to let that go through.
Okay. I mean, you can give it another go if you want.
Yeah, I'll see if it works.
See if that works.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm now sharing it. I don't know. Is that just shared with you, or is it now sharing the chat
Yeah,
as well?
I got it. There you go.
Oh yeah, that shares. There we go. Did you have to do anything, or is it just you being here that allowed that to happen?
I had to add it to the stream.
Okay.
So there we go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so, what's your thoughts on this now coming to what we've got? Well, the news about it, the cover and such.
About time, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
I mean, nearly a year, really. Like, what is it? 10 months?
Yeah. Well, it'll be about 9 months and a bit by the time it comes out, because it was towards the end of November.
I think the animated cover sort of reminds you a bit of like a Scooby-Doo cover you'd see, to be honest.
I think
it's nice how it mirrors the Web of Fear special edition.
Yeah, it does have that same pose for Troughton, doesn't it? Unfortunately, Yetis look like they're laughing a bit there. But they've got their arms up to the side, they're doing the maniacal laughter.
Yeah.
I saw one funny caption out on Twitter. I can't remember who put it out there, the phrase, but they said, "No, you can't have your ball back."
I mean, it would be good to finally have it, because it's been a while since I've experienced the Abominable Snowman, and I feel like it's quite a beloved story for people. I think it'll be one of those stories where I think will definitely benefit the color animation.
Yeah, it seems like they're going a bit more out of the Tibetan setting rather than it just being the hills in Wales.
Yes, it's Snowdon, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, doubles well enough for a 60s budget, but a bit more freedom you can have there with animation. Getting a making of documentary, I believe Chris Chapman revealed that was called Troughton in Tibet.
Okay. I mean, I look forward to that because I've enjoyed like the making of like the missing episodes so far, especially like Fury from the Deep. It's sort of
Yeah.
pushing the boat. It goes sort of collection standard, really, of making of it. It goes beyond talking heads like the DVDs.
I mean, I suppose that was less pushing the boat out and more flying the helicopter out, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
But yeah, they definitely are getting up there, aren't they? Pushing it a bit further as to what they can do. Sadly, that seems to be all like in terms of new special features. I'm pretty sure we've seen most of the stuff before.
Yeah, apparently there's like some footage about Deborah Watling falling, and it's like the closest thing to like a Doctor Who blooper.
I'm assuming that's
What?
the 8mm home movie footage.
Maybe it's on that. I have no
Well, I
idea.
suppose the audio commentary's been new as well, actually.
Yeah, that'd be new.
It's
I
almost
mean,
surprising
episode
they don't
2.
get behind the sofas for these.
Well, you think at some point they're gonna do it, so yeah, might as
I
well
suppose.
stick it on. But it's quite nice that they've remastered episode 2.
Yeah, is that confirmed that they've got it up to like Blu-ray quality?
I believe so. I think.
Yeah, because I know they didn't quite do that for Faceless ones, did they?
No, I mean, I guess it depends on the actual original copy, doesn't it? Really, but
yeah, that's true.
It'll be interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, hopefully a bit higher quality than the original from Lost in Time, at least, because that was nearly 20 years ago. Lost in Time was 2003, wasn't it?
I have no idea. No idea.
It was certainly
You're
one of the
probably right.
earlier ones because it was before the To Entertain logo, at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I suppose we've also got some Classic Doctors New Monsters news, haven't we?
Yeah, we've seen the latest volume drop, volume 3, and now we have volume 4 news and a cover.
Yeah, like one day later, and suddenly we're getting news for October 2023. Oh, wow. Surely this is the furthest in advance Big Finish have ever revealed a cover before.
I think you're probably right there. Unless it's the 11th Doctor Chronicles, but then that was... I thought that might be a contender.
That was quite far. I think that wasn't over a year, though, was it?
I can't remember, to be honest. I have to double check. But yeah, interesting monster choices.
I mean, we all guessed the silence, really, didn't we? From the title Broken Memories. But all Moffat ones as well. Which I think it is a testament to him that most of the Classic Doctor's New Monsters sets have used Moffat monsters.
Yes, yeah.
He always was good at creating them. And so we have the Fourth Doctor versus Harmony Shoal. Like the creatures, they're in Husbands and Husbands
Dr.
of Soul
Mysterio.
and Dr. Mysterio, yeah. Aren't they? And we've got Sadie Miller as Sarah Jane in that one. Like, I remember our almost disappointment when we saw that it was Sadie with Tim for the Third Doctor and Sarah, and we love that duo. But we've had a bit of that already. We haven't had any Fourth Doctor and Sarah, just those two yet, and not much Fourth Doctor and Sarah in general, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, only really Return of the Cybermen and a little bit in Doctor of War.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And apparently that is going to be like set on a 1970s style colony world in the far future.
Okay.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll go a bit Brain of Morbius in style, because it was brain with the and you got.
You can imagine like Sarah's reaction, like stumbling into like a room full of
not another
brains. Like Davison in The Visitation. Here we go again.
Yeah,
as he's about to be beheaded.
I mean, maybe she'll stumble in blind.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah.
That'll suit audio, won't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, the titles Invasion of the Body Stealers. So that's sort of doing the Hinchcliffe hoofing of homaging a classic, isn't it? With Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Bit on the nose there, but we can live with that. Then Queen of Clocks by Jacqueline Rayner, with the Sixth Doctor and Mel versus the Clockwork Droids.
Interesting.
Yeah. And apparently this was done before work began on the Sixth Doctor Adventures. And this was sort of like what helped to figure out what to do with the Sixth Doctor and Mel and their arcs in the current run.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think that's also why we don't have Stephen Noonan or Michael Troughton, because it looks like these were done quite a while ago, and so it's before they were recast.
Unless that's like Volume 5, that Reddit leak.
Yeah, you never know. But yeah, it looks like that is in the bin now for good.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to get excited about it and just go, what if?
Yeah, that was it really, wasn't it? Like, we had our huge grain of salt with us, and we were just indulging, having a bit of fun.
Yeah,
nice image of Sylvester McCoy there.
Yeah, it's nice that have sort of aged him up to look a bit like TV movie McCoy.
Yeah, it looks like they had a bit of rights problems there again, similar to TV movie McGann, so they've had to create something a bit different there. And then Time War McGann. I don't know whether it'll be Time War though.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't really tell now, can you?
Yeah. It doesn't always quite line up. But yeah, it looks like those two will be traveling solo.
I have to say, I feel like this set is more appealing compared to the most recent volume because of the monster selection.
Yeah. But I feel like that's fine to save like more of the heavy hitters for later on, rather than getting through the big ones first and then feeling more and more like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel later.
I mean, I've only listened to the Mox story so far from Volume 3, which is very good. But yeah, Volume 3 definitely seems more like a curveball in the classic Doctor's range.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, sometimes it's not even like quite monsters, is it? Like with Fox and the Tavolian. Like you imagine those as more. I mean, if it was Battles in Time cards, they'd be classed as alien rather than monster,
Enemy,
wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was enemy there. Yeah,
I can't remember.
And then it's the Silent Priest and the Silent City, both by David K. Barnes. So it's interesting how much they tie together there. Because in Volume 2, we sort of had a loose connection between
Vashta Nerada, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first and last story, Day and Night of Vashta Nerada, wasn't it? Or Night and Day, I think.
Yeah.
And then with Volume 3, it's the Cantafari, isn't it? But I'm not sure
the
how
Dream Crabs.
I'm not sure how linked those stories are going to be just yet. If anyone's listened to those, do let us know if they are linked or completely separate there. With as few spoilers as possible.
We'll be covering it when Luke gets back from his holiday.
Yeah, I think that'll be our first one up, won't it? We'll be doing a classic Doctor Who Monsters tier list.
Yeah, and I'm sure when we get round to like November next year, we'll add this to the tier list.
Yeah, get that as well. I mean, part of me feels like maybe it would have been nice to throw River Song into the silent stories.
Yes, that would be nice with McGann.
Yeah, because then that could sort of work with the memory wipe anyway, because it's already sort of the Doctor's memory's already going to be a bit hazy with the silence here. River does have a tie-in with the silence as well, so you might as well just use that as a bit of a get out of jail free card there when it comes to wiping the Doctor's memory.
I mean, I would have liked Davison to be in it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, my ideal choice would be keep Tom and
Sadie.
Sylvester. Yeah, and Sadie as well. Yeah, and then swap out Sixth Doctor with the second. Get Michael Troughton in there alongside Fraser and Wendy, maybe. And then swap out McGann with Peter.
Yeah,
Ultimately, this is what we've got, and it's still a good selection. But yeah, it is a shame to get more Sixth Doctor and Eighth Doctor when they've been in every set so far.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll feel differently this time next year, because you never know with how Big Finish rolls. We might be missing them by them a bit. We might have loads of Fifth Doctor coming in other content while the Sixth Doctor takes a year off for a change.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, we've just been swamped with Colin, which is not a bad thing. It's just like, oh, another Colin.
Yeah. I'm getting another one next month. Another one the month after.
Yeah. Is that the last bit of Colin then for the year?
I think so. No,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think until May next year.
Oh, okay. We've got a bit of time.
Yeah, but I mean, this is Big Finish. There's probably going to be announcements in between, isn't there?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But part of me also feels that, and I've seen quite a few people mention this as well, the Fourth Doctor maybe would have fitted more going up against the Clockwork androids.
Yes. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. Like, certainly when I saw the cover and saw those two both on it, that was my first thought of who they'd line up as facing. I mean, I didn't even see the Harmony shoulder.
Yeah, it took me a while to realise until I read the press release. It's like, oh, so they're in it. Cool.
Nice little tally marks in the background though.
Oh
behind
yeah,
the Doctors.
That's really cool.
Like, you got the silent priest there. I mean, aren't all the silence priests?
Yeah.
Or did they maybe expand out a bit after when they broke off, depending on which group it was?
It's been a while since I've
it's not
dived
the
into
most
that area.
clear cut of arcs. But it looks like he was a librarian. He's about to snap the book shut, isn't he? Yeah, certainly. It feels like this cover took to heart some of the criticisms of the first cover. And I mean, when you look at, I believe it was Rafe Wallbank who done both. Certainly, he had some different earlier options for what they could do with Volume 3's cover. But Big Finish chose to more go for the standard characters in a line one. And I think quite a few people weren't best pleased with that on Twitter. And it does feel like this is almost done in a response to that, doesn't it?
It feels more in keeping with like the first two this one does.
Yeah, it's quite a bit more creative, this one. Yeah, it's very...
I do like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that's it really for Big Finish news, though. This week we haven't had too much. There we go.
I guess it's time to dive into Ice Warriors, isn't it?
Yeah, just have a look at the chat, see if anyone said anything. Glenn Skywalker asks, what do you think will be the first animation when they come back?
I think your obvious answer.
Hopefully they come back.
Yeah, I mean, if Disney have a little hand in it,
yeah,
I feel like Wheel in Space feels like an obvious one to do.
It's surprising that they haven't done that one already.
Yeah, because you think they had the assets from when they did like their little BFI 10-minute thing. What's on the Macra Terror?
Can you imagine a 12-part series on Disney Plus adapting, well, just animating rather, the Daleks Master Plan, like a weekly release on that?
I'd actually be down for that.
Yeah. I think it's just a shame that going by that, they might not allow a physical copy if they were co-funding that. This is like very much hopeful thinking, though, isn't it? Optimistic.
Yeah.
Because them looking to stream upcoming Doctor Who on there doesn't necessarily mean they're looking to do the archive preservation work alongside the BBC.
I feel like Russ will be like, no, but let them have their physical.
Yeah, that's true. I
I
think
think,
if the BBC does have a hand in it, there's still a good chance there.
well, there's money made in merch. I think Doctor Who makes them enough money, so I think they'll let them do the DVDs and Blu-rays.
I suppose they might want it for a certain amount of time, though, which would be fair enough because you get that anyway when Doctor Who comes out on TV. It doesn't come out on Blu-ray straight away. You have to wait usually a month after the final episode now, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, or like a week or something like that.
Mm.
So it's not too long in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. And certainly, if you're releasing it weekly as well for 12 weeks, you'll get some people tuning in there. And hopefully that could up the animation quality a bit as well. If you got Disney money behind you. But,
that'd be lovely.
Yeah, it's very much just dreaming now, really, sadly. But more unexpected things have happened, so stay optimistic, folks. You never know.
Well, Russell T Davies, who would have thought that this time last year?
Yeah,
probably none of us. So just says it all, really.
It was a couple of days ago, I think, or maybe a week now, that Chibnall was announced to be, and Jodie were announced to be moving on.
Wow, crazy!
It feels like longer, to be honest.
Yeah, because it was like January 2021, wasn't it, when it sort of leaked, and it was just radio silence going, no, we can't comment on it, and then found out that it was true.
Yeah. And I know Russell was September, wasn't he? Was it September 20 something?
I think it was like the 20th, wasn't it, or 21st?
Yeah,
20. Round about them.
Yeah, that was like a huge. I think that was even more exciting than the Tennant news, to be honest. I think maybe because the Tennant news, we'd sort of been
fed
that for a while.
We
were sort of thinking, oh, maybe. And so then it was almost like, that's finally confirmed. Whereas the Russell stuff, that was totally out of the blue.
Yeah, nobody could predict that one at all.
Yeah. I suppose, shall we tier list these Ice Warrior stories now?
Yeah, I mean, just because, we've been talking about Big Finish, do you have a favourite Big Finish Ice Warrior story? Because they seem to have a bit of a renaissance on Big Finish this year in particular.
Yeah. Probably Cry of the Vultress.
Yeah, that's a good show.
That's a very good one. What about you?
I quite like the McGann two-parter, Demos and Resurrection of Mars, or it always pulls me back, Lords of the Red Planet. I don't know why I always, even though I know that that's got a bit of padding, but we'll find out
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he plays, I think, one of the Martians in it. But yeah, big fan of the Ice Warriors.
That's another Ice Warriors story that didn't quite get made.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe it's a thing. Yeah.
I mean, that was one that got replaced by Seeds of Death, wasn't it? Really, because it was too big budget for them to do on TV. So, like, give us something simpler, Brian.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see what we could have had, and I think Seeds of Death is a good replacement.
Yeah, it feels much more typical of the 60s.
Yeah,
but I suppose we'll talk about that in a bit. Well, first let's have a look at these tiers. At the top there we have the Alpha tier, the Alpha Centauri tier, and then under that we've got Ice Hot. Not quite a Ice Warrior story reference there, but nevertheless it feels somewhat fitting. Shout out to the Paradise Towers fans out there. We've got your average Agador in the middle there, Submarine Par, and finally Useless and Unnecessary.
There we go.
Yeah, which is from Seeds of Death as a quote, so no.
That's very fitting.
Or is it? No, I think it's from Ice Warriors, actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's when they're talking to the scavenger store. And then they kill him.
Oh, he's a good little character.
Yeah. And I mean, speaking of animations, this has 2 animated episodes because episode 2 and 3 are missing. Not my favorite animation style, though. I will be honest.
Yeah, I don't think it's a. It's simple animation, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, I think for 2 episodes in the middle, I can live with it. And then,
Mm.
like, they're not the most exciting 2 episodes anyway. So, yeah. I mean, I think for the VHS, it was just the 4 episodes and then like a little 10-minute segment slotted in of Fraser Hines explaining the gap, wasn't it?
Yeah, which might be better actually.
I believe that's included on the DVD as well.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it does feel like perhaps this would have been better as a 4-parter, but got stretched to 6.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of padding within this. There's a lot of back and forth, like, oh, Victoria's captured. Oh, okay, we've got to go and get her. No, we can't because of the ionized machine and these calculations. Yeah, if we destroy this ship, it will blow up the glaciers and throw it all off course.
It feels very dated with the computer commentary as well.
It kind of has that sort of invasion computer vibe, really.
Yeah. I'd say even worse here because there's like a line about how the Doctor says computer checking should be the other. What's computers checking humans? It should be the other way round. But we now live in a world very different to that idea, where we are very happy to be like spell checked and stuff by computers and have this stuff confirmed. I mean, so there's value in both, but yeah, it does feel like the Doctor's a bit of a Luddite, really.
Well, it helps him get like is it like the smelling salts? Is it or like the smell, like the sulfuric gas or something like that?
Yeah, the stink bomb.
Yeah, the stink bomb. So it helps make that.
Yeah.
I like the reveal of the ice warriors and like the frozen sort of tundra of it all. I think that's really nicely done, and I like episode 1's cliffhanger.
Yeah, I think that's very well done. And I mean, that idea is sort of one that's handed on to several other Ice Warrior stories since, isn't it? Not quite on TV.
Yes.
I mean, Cold War.
Yeah.
At least. But yeah, when it comes to Big Finish, certainly quite a few have used a similar setup there of someone finds a warrior frozen in the ice and digs it out and then goes up Schitt's Creek.
I mean, I think you can see why the Ice Warriors become an enduring enemy or monster because of how Bernard Bradshaw, I think it is, just played Varga.
Yeah, it's that very interesting alien voice, isn't it?
There's just so much character, within the performance and just the movement and all that. This big lumbering tower.
Yeah, I think quite an
armor.
imposing monster. It does feel like they feel like they're made to go on beyond this one story. Really, like you have certain villains which very much feel quite story specific, but here it feels like there's a lot of room to expand there. It's almost surprising that Doctor Who didn't cover the idea of Martians before this.
Yeah, because this is season 5. Yeah, it's strange.
But yeah, the story as a whole, I can't say I'm a huge fan of it. It does slog along a fair bit.
This one I was really excited for. Watched it. I wanted to love it, and I did like it, and then I rewatched it like last year, and I just couldn't really get on with it. I was like, how did Kid Me like this?
I mean, I'd go average Agador, but would you even go Submarine Par, perhaps?
I'd go. I'd go average, because there's still some nice bits within it, but I think it's got the fluff of a 6-parter, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too.
It feels like it needed a draft or 2 more to bring it out, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it's such an interesting sort of setting, like these little domes and with like manor houses.
Nice idea of Yeah, like the manor house in the dome, but it doesn't feel like much is done with that beyond part 1.
Yeah, because it just shifts to like it's a bit of back and forth about we're going to use the ionizer. No, we can't. It's a stupid machine. And the ice wars are going to break out the ice, and then it's just back and forth for that, really.
Yeah, they very much dragged that out from, I think, about episode 3, maybe even 2. That whole worry is there. I mean, it feels like even Varga's a bit annoyed that that's still being dragged out by the end. There is a nice scene, like when they're storming the house though, and like the doors swing open to the control room with the Ice Warriors. That's well done. But yeah, overall, not my favourite. Now we get to the Seeds of Death. All right, what do you make of this one?
This is an interesting one, actually, because as a kid, this is my first Ice Warrior story I saw.
Same. I wasn't
And
quite good at the time though, but same.
I'd skip the story just to get to the Ice Warrior bits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just had this fascination with Ice Warriors. Ever since getting like the Monster and Villain book, I was like, I want to see these stories. And it's taken me a while to get what Seeds of Death is, and I actually quite enjoy it. Actually, I think it's definitely one of the stronger stories of season 6.
I think it's a step up from the Ice Warriors.
It adds to the Ice Warrior sort of hierarchy of the Ice Lords. Is it Slar? In this one?
And the general as well.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit like Sontaran Experiment, isn't it? Where it's the same actor in the same costume, but they've just added a few extra bits to it to make it look different and put him on the end of a monitor.
But one thing what I like about this story is how the Ice Warriors are shot, how they're revealed.
Oh yeah, the point of view shots.
Yeah, very good. I think, is it Michael Ferguson?
Yeah, I believe so.
He does a very good job directing this one.
I mean, there's that wonderful shot of Slar and Fuchsium where they're against like the lights, so they're like almost completely silhouetted out. Yeah, there's wonderful bits like that in there.
But again, I do feel like this has a little bit of tediousness to it as well.
It does feel like it would have been a cracking 4-parter.
I just think about the rocket bit. That kind of drags on a little bit.
It's again a fair bit of back and forth, isn't there? Between Earth and the Moon.
Yeah, it's a lot of Tiamat's broken. Oh, we must fix Tiamat.
Yeah. Like we randomly get the director's boss come along, don't we? That was. Yeah, and that just feels like an extra character to sort of pad out the drama a little bit for a while. One thing this story does very well is make use of the companions. Like it very much dives into Jamie being a bit more primitive and Zoe having that knowledge. And like with him insisting to go on the rocket with them and such.
It's a pretty solid one, I think.
I'd give it a nice hot.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think I like the Ice Warriors in the park, and then you've got Troughton running on the spot to make it look like he's venturing out. A load of bubble bath being used.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun there.
And you can see Wendy Padbury and Troughton break character, which is kind of wholesome, seeing them corpse when Troughton
when he
falls out.
Through.
But yeah, it's just sort of wholesome stuff. We're like, oh, bless them.
It's just nice seeing our friends have fun.
Yeah. I guess a paladin, I guess.
Yeah. On to the Pertwee is now.
Very interesting story for the Ice Warriors, because this is where we see that they're an onion villain. That there's a bit more to them.
Yeah, it certainly expands them more than any other classic villain has really before this point. And does sort of, I suppose it's the plus of Brian Hale still writing for them, isn't it?
Yes.
Because he did do the first 2, although I think Terrence Dicks had to rework a lot of Seeds of Death. So that's almost more credited to him than Brian Hale's, but certainly he still had a hand in all of these. And so with Curse, you very much see a different side to the Ice Warriors. And they're used there as a red herring, aren't they, really?
Yeah, because you got the Doctor going, no, don't trust them.
Mm.
But it's something completely different, really.
Yeah. The only other returning monster, other than the Daleks, for the Pertwee years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which there's
Well, unless you count Cybermen in Carnival.
Yeah, true,
but that's tiny.
Yeah, they're very oddly light green in this story, aren't they?
Yeah, I think is it Islia?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very light green.
Whereas in Monster, the next story, they get a bit more toned down. They go almost more dark blue, don't they?
Yeah, which I kind of prefer, really.
Yeah, I think it makes them look a lot more menacing. I think maybe the bright green was what was used in the Trout and stuff, but because that's black and white, that hides it, makes it look a lot better. Whereas here, they're not quite made to go into color. They're a bit too bright.
I think it's quite a rich story in terms of like the themes of the political message behind it about like the Galactic Federation.
Yeah, it's a very wonderful world built again, isn't it here? And I think this story gets to explore that world a lot more because maybe it's a bit smaller in scale. And again, it's a four-parter, so we don't have that padding problem here.
Yeah, it's a little pocket rocket, really. It's almost a shame Mark Gatiss never got to touch Paladin because I think, spoiler, I think he does such a wonderful job with the Ice Warriors. So I think he would have been a great contender to bring Paladin back.
With Brexit going on, given that Curse of Paladin itself was a analogy at the time for the UK deciding to join what would eventually become the European Union. I can't remember quite what it was at the time. With Brexit going on, it would have been fitting to have had a Capaldi Ice Warrior story that was a follow-up to Peladon. But I'm not sure if I would have swapped what we got out for that with Empress of Mars.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because that's a great story as well.
I mean, we technically do get a little Paladin link in Empress of Mars, which,
Yeah.
I guess we can say, because it's not a spoiler. It's been out 5 years, so you can say Alpha Centauri.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been a nice, like, full circle, though, to have that and always make a trilogy out of Peladon on TV. Yeah, because, obviously, I mean, spoilers for politics ahead, but we've got some heavy miner strike going on in Monster, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, it's wasn't shy on the political commentary at the time, despite what some people may tell you.
Doctor Who has never been political.
No, never.
My arse.
So anyway, Sarah, do you want to tell the Queen about feminism?
Yeah.
Or women's lib, sorry.
Yeah.
Hello, stylish one.
Hello. I mean, again, this starts Jo's arc of, is she ready to leave the TARDIS? She's getting ready. She's starting to find love,
But I suppose in this case, it's like she hasn't found love on Earth. And she's not quite ready to leave Earth as well as the Doctor. I mean, also, Peladon is a bit of a wet blanket, so...
he's good in the Big Finish box set.
Yeah. I mean, David Troughton.
Very good.
Troughton's son, wonderful job as King Peladon.
The model work as well, with like the TARDIS on the cliff.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Like the shot of the castle. It's always brilliant.
Yeah, it oozes classic Who, and it's brilliant.
I think this is probably one of the best for Jo and the Doctor, like their back and forth, their relationship and such.
Yeah, you can definitely see why, because there's a little documentary on the DVD about John and Katie's dynamics. Like, this is like the pinnacle of these two, really.
Fun fact from Stylist Person in a chat: did you know that Fraser Hines snuck a snow globe into the Ice Warriors intro when the title and episode numbers appeared during filming? I didn't know that. Yeah, that's the other thing about Ice Warriors and Seeds of Death we got to mention. They both have their own little intros, don't they?
Oh, it's annoying in the ice. Where's the you're like, no, stop. I've had enough of this
It's
already.
weird that they call it what? They call the episode 1 or 2 or 3. It's not episode 1, it's just 1.
Yeah.
But I think that seems to be like the BBC's go-to theme for snow settings, because you also get in Keys of Marinus when they're on the ice planet, and that it's like that same sort of ethereal singing.
Yeah, it just drags though.
I quite like the Seeds of Death one, and I like that also isn't the same one each time. Depending on what scene the story starts on, it'll go back behind the moon and then zoom in on Earth if the story starts on Earth, episode starts on Earth. But if the episode starts on the moon, it'll do the zoom around Earth, won't it, and then zoom in on the moon.
Yeah, see, you've been paying attention.
Right.
You've done your own work.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, we forgot to mention this until now, so
Hey, we brought it up though. That's the key thing.
That's the main thing.
It's there.
Yeah, we get points for trying.
I mean, I do like the Ice Warrior theme in Seeds of Death.
Yeah.
It's very good. Bit of music.
Do 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 do. Star Spencer says, also on a personal note, I haven't watched either Peladon story. However, I do own both stories as narrated soundtracks on CD. That's got to be a novel way of experiencing them.
Yeah.
Who does the narration for those? Stylish person. That would be interesting. But yeah, Curse, I think it's really good. Good bit of intrigue in there. It's a plot that certainly keeps you guessing for a while. So, and just wonderful world building. I'd say it's Alpha Centauri tier.
Yeah, it feels only right because like the cast is so memorable, like Hepesh and all that, you know.
I thought you might argue a bit lower because remember we did the Pertwee tier list. You weren't.
I feel like
as big a fan of this one.
I feel like I've softened on it now.
Ah,
I feel like I've softened.
Fair enough.
Um,
Or is it also just that there's a difference between a tier list of John Pertwee stories and a tier list of all stories?
maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens with this second John Pertwee story, The Monster of Peladon now. Returning to Peladon 50 years later with Sarah in tow this time. A new ruler on the throne, Queen Thalera. Sadly, David Troughton has now passed. And so we have miners striking. And some mysterious deaths going on related to Agador.
Yeah, the ghost of Agador, isn't it?
Yeah. I think one of the Big Finish Peladon stories in the box set sort of pointed out about how Agador is both a beast with which there are multiple of that are actually real and were real, and also is like this legendary god type thing. I think it's interesting that Peladon religion is built around that.
It's quite rich stuff, really.
Yeah, it's nice it very much feels like a good world to return to and continue exploring the tapestry of here. I feel like of the 6-parters, I think this is one of the ones that works best.
Yeah, surprisingly, I don't find myself getting bored by it.
Like the Ice Warriors don't turn up till halfway through, and they are once again the villains of the piece. But they're not like, quite the main villain, like they are in Seeds and Ice Warriors.
It's Eckersley, isn't it?
Yeah,
he looks very much like Tom Baker. I always think, is that why John went for Doctor went for that face? To remind you not to be a bit of a traitor and a bit of a git. Don't know.
But he's an interesting character because while he is after profit and such, he's not necessarily backstabbing and killing everyone. He's very much biding his time, playing it cool. He's not cruel for cruelty's sake, really, is he? He's very practical.
I
really enjoy this one.
Yeah, yeah, you got some nice little fight scenes where you could obviously see, oh, that's Terry Walsh, and you get Terry Walsh voicing the Third Doctor in, I think, the end of part
Is it where
5.
he's like, no, Eckersley, no. Oh, no,
Yeah,
it's not
so
Eckersley. No, whoever it was.
I think it's like, is it the leader of like the miners?
Yeah, well, not quite the leader. It's like the one who goes rogue.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's Gebek is the leader, and he's played by the guy who was also in as
Is it
Rex
Ralph
Tyler.
Ralph Watson is I'm thinking
He
of.
was in, yeah, I think that might be him. He was in Three Doctors and Hand of Fear, wasn't he?
Hmm.
But yeah, the evil miner chap, the Badger, is played by the same actor who was in Web of Fear as. Oh no, that might be Ralph Watson.
I think that's
actually.
Ralph Watson. Yeah, that's Ralph Watson.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look up the cast now because
Yeah, that weird mole character's a bit of an interesting character design, really.
Yeah.
So it has
I mean,
that
he's
weird
killed off
half.
pretty quickly. Rex
Yeah.
Robinson is
There we go.
Gebek. Ralph Watson is Etis. There we go. And Ralph Watson was also the captain in Web of Fear, and he was in Horror of Fang Rock as well. I think he might be in one other story too. But Stylish One has a interesting question here, and also says they're narrated by Katie Manning and Elizabeth Sladen. That's quite fitting. And what would you say is the first proper sequel in Doctor Who? Is in the first story that not only references a previous story but follows it up? That's an interesting question, because I think a lot of people's first thought would be Dalek Invasion of Earth, isn't it? But that's not really a sequel. It's just another story that features the Daleks.
Yeah.
Sandra? I mean, maybe Web of Fear?
Yes. Well, you could argue Enemy of the World in that, in a way. Because it follows,
It follows it on, but it's not really
linked.
Yeah. It's not really like someone's looked at that story and said, let's do a sequel to this.
Yeah. I mean, Spearhead Terror of the Autons, that's
definitely a sequel.
Definitely a sequel.
I mean, you could maybe argue Dalek's Master Plan is a sequel to Mission to the Unknown.
Yes, true.
That could count.
Yeah.
I suppose The Chase does sort of follow up on Dalek Invasion of Earth, because it's the Daleks trying to get revenge on the Doctor for him stopping their invasion of Earth. But there's not really much to it beyond that, beyond the basic setup. Yeah, so I mean, that could be arguably more of a sequel there. Yeah, maybe it would be Spearhead and Terror of the Autons.
I feel like that's the most obvious one. What just springs to mind?
Yeah, either that or, like we say, Web of Fear and Abominable Snowman. But even then, they are quite. I'd say it is about because it's got Travis in there still.
Yeah, Travis is the link, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's also like it does follow up on how the Yeti were involved in it. It's not just another story with the Yeti, like say the Moon Base is another story with the Cybermen, or Dalek Invasion of Earth is another story with the Daleks. It does very much build up off where Abominable Snowman left off. So yeah, I'm gonna go Web of Fear and as the first proper sequel to Doctor Who. Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Stylish Person? Since you asked the question, are there any ones before that spring to mind for you, or do you maybe disagree that Web of Fear quite counts? Certainly, there are a few that are a bit more loose, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so back to Monster Peloton. We like it. Where do you want to put it?
I think it's got to be up there with Curse, hasn't it, really?
I'd go Ice Hot.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite on the same level as Curse, but it's still a good deal of fun. I'd say it's better than Seeds. But I think Ice Hot is the right tier for it.
Yeah. Very good. And it's good Sarah in it.
Yeah, she's very well used in that. I mean, she does spend, I think, about 2 on 2 different occasions thinks the Doctor's dead,
Hmm.
cries over him, and then realises he's still alive. She must have been ready for him to go by Planet of Spiders. I've already gone through this enough. Just please die
Oh,
properly.
scared to the side, man. She was like, "Oh, here we go again."
Yeah. I mean, that's the Brigadier's line.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, new series then, I guess. Cold War.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're more familiar with this one, so do you want to take it away with Cold War? David
This is
Warner's
my
appearance in the TV show.
yes, playing the lovable professor who has an obsession with Ultravox. Hungry like the wolf, all good stuff. Having a little sing along with Clara to sort of reassure and stop her being scared. This was a real special one because this is the year of the anniversary. It was a nice sort of link back to the base under siege of Troughton's era, and obviously Smith is heavily influenced by the Second Doctor. So it works incredibly well. I think Skaldak. I think the modern Ice Warrior design is so well done. It's a great revamp, and possibly my favorite revamp.
I do feel like they sort of blinked with the voice, though. I think they could have got a bit more hissy with it. It does feel more like they were going, oh, it's a bit laughable in Classic Who when they're hissing. We'll have to give them a bit of a deeper, more generic monster voice.
You get this sort of crackle effect over it, though, like a little crackle hiss.
Yeah, it does. It's still a good voice.
And I think that Mark Gatiss really enhances the beauty of an Ice Warrior, that they can, have like a massacre, but then cry for a death of a flower or something like that. That they have very much a samurai mindset in a way, like the sword and the pen.
Yeah, I feel like that seems to become almost a generic thing to apply to any warrior race in Doctor Who now. Because like you had it with the Sea Devils and Silurians as well, and then also what was the other Fifth Doctor monster? The Visitation one, Pterodactyls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sort of had that side to them.
But I think that it's wonderfully shot. I will say the Ice Warrior Skaldak coming out of the suit, not too keen on like the design, that it's this spindly thing, then you have like the helmet taken off at the end. It doesn't quite all line up, to be honest.
Yeah, it feels like it's trying too hard to copy what Dalek did in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think also it feels more fitting that for the Ice Warriors, they are very much plugged into their exosuits.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just something they can hop on out of, it's something they are very much wired into. It is pretty much their flesh.
Yeah, I think great pre-title sequence with the ice smashing and the hand coming out. Great shot. I have a great time with this one, actually.
It's nice having it set from the Russian perspective as well.
Mm.
It's like when you have Cold War stuff, it is like the generic choice to go for the American or British side, isn't it?
Yeah.
So going Russian's quite interesting. It is odd having a historical set during the 80s.
Yeah, it's weird to think that it's historical technically now.
Yeah, and yet who would have been the Doctor at the time it's set? Is it 84, this one?
I can't remember, to be honest, but I guess it would be Davison.
Yeah. Maybe this happened around the same time that Warriors of the Deep came out. That'd be fitting.
Yeah. But yeah, great story. Introduced to the Hads again. Again, another nice throwback to Troughton. Yeah, I really like this one. I'd say it's ice hot personally.
83.
Oh, 80. So it'd be Dave. Yeah, still be Davison.
Yeah, still Davison. Maybe Margaret Thatcher's calling that snap election at this time, and Warriors is in a bit of trouble behind the scenes while this is all happening. Okay. Where would you put it?
I would say ice hot for me personally.
I think I'll let you put it there because I wanted to watch this one before we did this stream, but just couldn't find the time because I knew it's been a while,
Yeah,
and so I want to give it a fair shake. So, from my
I think.
memory, I'd probably put it average Agador, but I feel like it's unfair of me to do that given how long it's been.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think
I mean, I prefer it
I'll
over
go with
Ice
you on this
Warriors.
one. So now we have Empress of Mars, which is one I have seen more recently, not just because it was on TV more recently, but because I have rewatched it a couple of times since broadcast. Actually,
Hmm.
I think it's an easy Capaldi to stick on and have a good time with, isn't it?
It's one of the best Capaldi stories. It's for
Good
the classic.
comfort Capaldi.
Yeah, it's for the classic fans.
Hmm.
It's one for the classics, isn't it? To think we could have had a Sleep No More sequel, I would take Empress of Mars over that any day.
It's Mark Gatiss's love letter, isn't it? Because he had a strong feeling this was going to be his last time writing for the show.
It's got all the hallmarks of Gatiss. You are like the Victorians on space. It feels like such a comic idea.
It was a wonderful little reference to Tooth and Claw in there as well, isn't it? Where you've got Pauline Collins
Yeah,
as
it's
the
weird.
portrait.
It's weird that that's the only time they've done it because we've seen Churchill and it's been proper Winston Churchill, not like Ian McNeice. Stuff like yeah, it's bizarre really.
Yeah.
But Friday has a nice little backstory. Yeah, it's just wonderfully rich, and I think the Empress is great. Bill and the Doctor are great with the movie reference, like Frozen. It's the Ice Warriors bursting out of the ground. That's such a great visual, and just the Ice Warriors just making people become bouncy rubber balls.
Yeah, that's a nice use of the sonic blaster there. Because I mean, certainly the effects of that sort of change as you go along. Like at first in the Ice Warriors itself, it just looks like where you poke into a bit of mirror, yeah, and it pongs back, doesn't it? Whereas Seas of Death, it's shaking all over the place.
Yeah.
And then I think Monster goes back to the Ice Warrior version. Or, yeah, they never fire in oh no, they have the big one, don't they?
Yeah, the big
and it's
rifle,
got the red circle effect as they kill whatever that ambassador was, Arcturus.
Yeah, Arcturus, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite horrific, isn't it? Seeing the bodies just
scrumple up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even the little small.
I think maybe Mark Gatiss. Well, he wouldn't have been writing it per se. He probably would more been typing it. But you can imagine him writing out a script, trying to work out something, and then just this page doesn't work. Scrunch it up, throw it aside, and then
that's it.
There we go.
That's it. Yeah, let's do that.
Almost certainly not how it happened, but it's a fun story.
Yeah. It's great. I think even the supporting characters get such a nice little. They get nice little moments, like the soldier talking about his wife, and then next minute he's a little rubber ball.
And there's the nice. I think is he the one in charge who then gets.
He's dishonored, isn't he?
Yeah,
he didn't die.
It's nice him having that, not quite comeuppance, but that facing of his destiny, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the Empress
his redemption. That's the word I'm getting.
Yeah, we'll spare you. The Empress is a great design as well.
Yeah, wonderful performance too. I think that does get into more of the hissy Ice Warrior voice, which it's Adele Lynch, isn't it?
And seeing the Ice Warrior hives as well. Which is quite interesting because it feels like a story Gatiss has wanted to tell since Cold War, because in Robots of Sherwood you get, I'll take you to the Ice Warrior hives.
Yeah.
So it feels great that he finally got to do Ice Warrior hives. Yeah, bit of a shame Nardol's out of it because he just gets sucked off in the TARDIS.
Yeah, excuse me.
Well, better than sex in the TARDIS. Yeah.
To be fair, I'm not sure I mind too much that Nardole said. I mean, I love Nardole, but I feel like this story does have a fair bit going on in it.
Yeah, I can't really see how it would fit in.
Yeah. And I mean, we've said about things like Seeds of Death and Ice Warriors that 6 parts felt a bit too long for them. I feel like 45 minutes was a bit too short for this. I don't think it didn't need a second part. I would love a 2-part Ice Warriors story by Gattis. I think this idea would have had legs for that. But at the same time, as it is, I think it could have worked better with just like an extra 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes, knock it up to the hour mark. Yeah, it does feel like it goes a bit too quickly from the Ice Warriors are out of their tombs to everything's going a bit hostile, and then suddenly we're nice and peaceful again. Yeah, it just does feel like it needed a bit more breathing room about it.
Yeah, because this really kickstarts like the Missy redemption, doesn't it? Because she brings the TARDIS to Mars, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And great CGI of the TARDIS arriving on Mars as it flies towards Mars. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And just the little Alpha Centauri. It's a CGI dot, but how much joy that brought everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, so
just
good.
the voice. Just goosebumps. Yeah, that was delightful. Yeah. And I suppose if they had like an extra bit of time to it, they could have given Nardole a bit more to do alongside Missy on their way. Like that could be a nice subplot to cut away to every once in a while. Like the uneasy alliance between them as they go.
That would be very good for like a Target novel. I feel like Empress of Mars would be a perfect target.
Either that or they do Missy Series 4, where it's instead of Missy and the Monk, it's Missy and Nardole. And this is what they did on the way to Mars.
Hey, I'd buy it. I'd buy that.
We love more Nardole, so.
Yeah. But this, I really
Also,
adore this one.
Yeah. They never explain why the TARDIS went wrong and went back to Earth.
I think it's I don't know, is it? I can't remember, but some sets it off, isn't it? Yeah, the HADs, yeah. I think it is a HADs.
But surely it would just relocate to somewhere safer around, not just go back to Earth.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So maybe that could be what the story, the Big Finish box set with Missy and Nardole's about. They could like keep missing Mars for some reason, but it's not Missy messing about, it's something going strange. Yeah. And I think that would also be interesting to see more of Missy's redemption. Yeah. Because I love Series 10, but that does feel a bit quick in the end. I thought, well, it would have been nice to spend more time with it. Adam the Ultimate Hoovy said, so lovely. They brought back Yazane Churchman to voice Alpha again. Yeah. Is that how it... It's not Yazane, is it?
I think it's Yasmin, isn't it?
Yeah. It must be a typo on Adam's part, perhaps.
I don't know. I can't really remember. But yeah, to think that she is in like her 80s, 90s, and she did that. Very. It was just chills. It was great. Where would you like to put this?
I'd say Ice Hot.
I would disagree.
You want to go top?
For me, this is my favorite Ice Warrior story.
Really? Wow.
I just get such a kick out of it. I just really enjoy this one.
Okay, go on then. Put it up there.
It's
I know it's what? Adam has spelled it right. Sorry, it is YS and an an. But yeah, maybe it is pronounced Yazan.
I have no idea. I
idea. Should know. We should know this.
Well, we're fake fans.
Yeah. Please let us know if we are saying it right, Adam, or not. Yazane.
One of those will be right.
Hopefully. Hello, Spring Tap Lover 2010. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
We have just finished the tier list there. So, top tier, we have Curse of Peladon and Empress of Mars. Second tier down, Ice Hot, we have the Seeds of Death, the Monster of Peladon, and Cold War. And then at the bottom, we have the original, the Ice Warriors in Average Agador. And then nothing below that. So, yeah, pretty top-heavy tier list there. There's only 6 of them, so there's not so much.
Yeah, it's
you
not
can
like
get
a
there.
broad spread, but it's only upwards for the Ice Warriors for us, really. It's getting better and better each time.
Yeah. That's
Well,
funny.
better, bit worse. Okay,
Yeah.
same, then better.
It's weird because I do love the Troughton era a lot,
Hmm.
but I prefer the Ice Warriors stories for the most part from every other era. So,
Well, yeah.
like Seeds of Death is a solid bit of Sunday afternoon fun, but yeah, I felt there are a lot better Troughtons out there than the Ice Warrior ones, but they were a good enough idea on their own to stick around and eventually find some good stories. Well, great stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's certainly it for the tier list. Leave any questions in the chat if you have any you'd like us to answer before we head off.
Yeah, let us know your favourite Ice Warrior story. Do you agree with our tier list? Do you disagree? But yeah, it's been a nice little fun one before we wrap up and say good night and you go off on your travels. Not to Mars.
No, not quite that far.
But yeah.
And I'm sure you've got loads of videos planned in the meantime.
Oh, I'm sure I'll keep myself busy while you're away.
Yeah. We've already got one ready to, well, not quite ready to go. I don't know. Have you started editing that one yet, or?
I've not started editing it yet, but that won't take long to do.
No, yeah, we got it all recorded. That's the main thing. That is for those who weren't here earlier. We were talking about that is our Big Finish recommendations. Not quite the usual recommendations though. It's like a recommendation for all occasions. So we've got different categories there, which we picked out beforehand and then came up with our own suggestion each for a Big Finish, which could suit such a situation.
Yeah, very interesting picks, really. I mean, we did agree on a couple, but I think there's about 14 categories. So,
yeah, we agreed on 3 in the end, didn't we?
Yeah. So there's plenty of Big Finish choices.
Well, have a great time away, Luke, says Adam. Thank you, Adam.
But yeah, other than that, that's us done for tonight. Before we return for Classic Doctor's New Monsters tier list,
a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, sort of late August, mid-August.
Yeah, I mean Friday the 19th, perhaps. But yeah, that's not a definite. I think we'll see
how you feel.
Things are. Yeah, I mean, see if you're free as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we never know. But yeah, certainly around that time, if not the Friday, probably the weekend, we'll get something in, won't we? And we'll be talking about Classic Doctor's New Monsters from Fallen Angels up until Should I Die Before I Wake? I think is the title of the final one.
Yeah, it rings a bell. I've not really looked at the title. I'm just like, I click play, I listen.
I mean, Together in Eclectic Dreams, that one sticks in my mind. That's a banger of a title. That's the 6th Doctor one by Roy.
Yeah. I think you're probably right with that title. Yeah. That'll be in the last one.
Yeah, they gone for a bit more creative titles this time. Maybe because the monsters are less well known.
Yeah,
they can't quite work in the time. Whereas series 2, it's just something of the something, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
there we go.
That is the Ice Warrior tier list. Thank you all for watching.
I guess our next monster tier list will be Weeping Angels. I think that's one we've had planned for a little bit.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we'll probably get around to that. I think Halloween, wasn't it? We're planning ahead. But yeah, we feel like that'll be a suitable time to do that. Maybe we'll get a different monster in the meantime. I think Great Intelligence is another option we could perhaps do.
Yes, with the recent, Abominable Snowman animation. Yeah, that'd be a good one to dive into.
Yeah, good to fit that in after that, perhaps in September.
But yeah,
there's still some more monster tier lists to come at some point. These are just ones we can like happily squeeze in when there's less recent Big Finish releases to talk about and stuff. So that's a good one to just have an excuse to sit down and chat about Doctor Who at the end of the day.
Yeah, TV Doctor Who. Yeah, it's good to do that. But yeah, I guess that concludes us for tonight. We'll be back later on in the month. Well, it's the end of July now, so we'll see you sometime in August.
Next month.
Later next month, we'll see you there. But yeah, we'll have a bit more content with like the Big Finish recommendations and what have you, and I'm sure we'll be back full steam ahead with other streams and other things we've got planned.
Yeah, hope everyone enjoys their summer.
Yeah, enjoy it. Have a good time. Hopefully we've got good weather. Or we've had our summer. I don't know.
No. I've heard rumblings that another heat wave is imminent, isn't it? We'll see.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe not quite up to the heights of the first one, hopefully. But
yeah, fingers crossed that.
Yeah, I mean, it's still it's been a bit gloomy recently, but it's still warm out.
Yeah, it's quite humid.
Yeah. We're getting very British now. We've talked
complain about the weather. Oh, get it all tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it must be someone's up on the moon base messing around with the weather controls. Actually, no, the weather controls are down on Earth in Seeds of Death, aren't they?
Yeah.
Weather Control Bureau, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Someone's locked controls and then Sonic blasted it. It's weird that when they do that, because it just looks all like there's vines and stuff growing over it. It's an odd effect, but yeah.
Yeah, it works. It does the job.
Yeah, we know that it's knackered.
It's Kaputski.
Yes, that is us for tonight, for real this time.
Yeah. I mean, if you've enjoyed this, if you've enjoyed the stream, please like, subscribe, do all that YouTube jazz, as we appreciate it, as we like to build a nice little community when we do these streams. But for real, it is time for us to say good night. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
There we go. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care, everyone.